Shem, back in Boca Raton in BRS West, copying the link here to send to everybody. And Baruch Hashem, this morning is the 21st day of the month of Menachem Av, and we are at the bottom of Daf Yud Daled Amud Aleph, learning the sugyas of Taras at the end of the first parak of Maseches Pesachim. The sugyas of Rabbi Chanina Skan HaKohanim. The Mishnah told us yesterday that Rabbi Chanina Skan HaKohanim told us halacha that mimem shel kohanim lo nimru yisraf es abashu shnimim b'vladatum abashu shnimim b'avatum. They would burn meat that had become tummy with the vladatum, which we explained yesterday. Vladatum does not mean a rishon tumah, but it means even a sheni tumah, and they would burn that together with meat that was made tummy from the and they would burn it with meat that was made tummy with an avatuma. So meaning, this was the chiddush of the Mishnah. The Mishnah told us that you're going to be able to burn meat that is a shlishi l'tumah together with meat that is a rishon l'tumah, making it into a sheni l'tumah. That was the chiddush of Rabbi Chanina Skan HaKohanim, and the Rabbi Akiva told us that they would also burn shemen shenifsal b'tvul yom, shemen that became tummy with a tvul yom, which would make it a shlishi l'tumah, in a ner, in a lamp that was tummy mace, meaning that it had become tummy mace, that the ner was a rishon l'tumah. And then Rabbi Akiva had told us, and then Rabbi Meir told us that the relation between these halachas and everything that we had said so far is because that'll tell us that we can burn chulin and truma together on Erev Pesach. Okay, we were at the bottom of Yud Daled Amud Aleph, 6 lines at the bottom, where the Gemara told us, quoting from Rabbi Akiva, and then the Gemara asked the question as follows: Michti, let's take a look at this din of Rabbi Akiva. Shemen shenifsal b'tvul yom. This shemen that became tummy through a tvul yom. My have. What exactly is its status? So that's called a shlishi. That's a shlishi l'tumah. That is a third level, meaning it goes aviyavos hatumah, that would be a dead body, to an av hatumah, which like a sheretz, to a rishon l'tumah, to a shein l'tumah, to a shlishi l'tumah. So this is now a shlishi l'tumah. The Gemara then asks, and if we're talking about a ner that became tamei b'tmei meis, meaning a person had come in contact with a dead body, and then that person had touched this lamp. So my have, what exactly would this make this lamp into? It would be a sheni. Because you'd have the dead body would be aviyavos hatuma, and then you would have the avatuma. Would be the person that touches it, and then the no, hold on, I got that wrong. My have it ner that shenitma b'tmei meis, a ner that became tummy with from a person that was tummy meis, which would make it into a sheni. Rashi says the ner have a rishon. Yeah, the ner have a rishon. That's how Rashi explains. So sorry, the ner would be the rishon tumah. So my have what would it be? So it would be a sheni. Says the Gemara, my kamashma. What are we telling us? Yeah, shlishi mutar says a sheni, meaning that the ner would be a rishon, the oil is a shlishi, and you're turning a sheni into a shlishi. Says the Gemara, yeah, if that would be the chiddush of Rabbi Akiva, haynu hach, and it's exactly what we've just proven is the halacha of Rabbi Chanina Skan HaKohanim. Rabbi Chanina Skan HaKohanim tells us that you can take meat that is a rishon and burn it together with meat that's a shlishi. So you have oil that's a shlishi in a ner that's a rishon, so it makes it into a sheni, which would mean that there's no chiddush at all by Rabbi Akiva. So now we have to figure out what exactly is this chiddush. Says the Gemara, Amar Rabbi Yehuda, what are we talking about here? No, we are not talking about a regular ner of cheres, of pottery. we're talking about a ner that is Maseches, that is made out of metal. The Rahman Amud, because the Torah tells us this is a unique din with regards to metals. This is the top of your Dalet Amud base. B'chalal cherev. The pasuk says anything that you find in the story of the Geulah Klei Midian. So you find something that's called a chalal cherev. Chalal cherev means a piece of metal, either that has killed or that has come in contact with the dead body. So that metal, says the Gemara, we have a limud cherev hareu kechalal, that the metal itself, the cherev, the sword, hareu kechalal, has the din of a dead body, meaning v'havile av hatuma, and that would make it into an av hatuma, as opposed to the regular halachas of tumas and taras, where everything that comes in contact with something that has tuma is going to be downgraded a level of tuma. So an ava tuma makes a rishon tuma, rishon tuma makes a shenin tuma, shenin tuma makes a shlishi tuma. A cherev harei kechalal comes in contact with a dead body, piece of metal comes in contact with the dead body. It does not become an ava tuma; it stays as an avi avosa tuma. So it has a higher level of tumah, which means the person that comes in contact with it is not going to be a rishon tumah. The person that comes in contact with it is going to be an ava tumah, and therefore, and this lamp, therefore, is avi avosa tumah, which should make the oil then not into a sheni, but would make it into a rishon tumah. Says the Gemara, "V'havi ava tumah," it becomes an ava tumah by itself. Because Savar, and what Rabbi Akiva is telling us is shlishi mutar l'asas a rishon. You can upgrade a shlishi to a rishon. Says the Gemara, whoa. Who says that this is what's going on here? My duchke de Rabbi Yehuda. Why is Rabbi Yehuda so pressed? He's so nervous. Like me b'ner shamatachas, to say that this is a metal lamp. Like me b'ner shel charas. We didn't say that it was a metal lamp. We said it's an air. Who says it's metal? So no, make this a ner shamatachas. That ner shel charas. That's a much simpler way of reading the Mishnah. And then what would the chiddush be? Umay haisif, and what is he adding? What is Rabbi Akiva adding? The ilu hasam tameh v'tameh. There, in the case of Rabbi Chanina's Kana Kahanim, you have meat that is tameh as a rishon tumah, and meat that is tameh as a shlishi tumah. Ve'ilu hacha, but here we don't have something that is tameh as a shlishi tumah. What we have is something that is puzzle. It's puzzle. It's not tameh. Meaning, what's the difference between puzzle and tameh? Both of them are tameh. However, puzzle meaning that its tumah has now reached the point of affecting it, but it cannot be transferred further. Meaning, this oil cannot make other things tameh. It's really a shlishi tumah. If it would come in contact with something, it would make it a reveal tumah, but there's no such thing as a reveal tumah in general. And the chiddush is that you're upgrading it, meaning you're upgrading the level of tumah, you're downgrading the item, upgrading the level of tumah to a shein tumah, and that would be the chiddush. Amar Rava says, no, why is Rav Yehuda so pressed to make sure that this is called a this is a ner shamatachas, and we're talking about cherev harei kechalal. Amar Rava says, matnitin kshite, that the Mishnah itself was difficult for him. What was the kasha in the Mishnah? My area. What's the deal in the Mishnah? The tani ner shenitma b'tmei meis. Why tell us that the ner became tamei with a tmei meis? That's a very specific din. Nitne shenitma b'sheretz. Just said it became tamei with the sheretz, like a regular tumah. Why does it have to be a tmei meis, that such a severe tumah? Ella ezu davar shechaluka tumas beina tumas meis l'sheretz. No, what the Mishnah is telling us is that Rabbi Akiva is adding that there is something unique that happens with regards to something that is tamei with a tmei meis, as opposed to somebody that became tamei through a sheretz. Have a omer. What is that din where there is a difference between somebody that became tamei with a tmei meis or something that became tamei from a sheretz? Have a omer zamatachas. That's this unique din of cherev harei kechalal, which is specifically with regards to tmei meis, with regards to something that comes in contact with the dead body. there's some important and interesting nafkaminas to halacha. We had a situation a couple of months ago where there was a male that came to shul who said to me, Rabbi, I need you to paskin. I did a bris milah on a nafel, on a baby that on a fetus that was miscarried. Carried to term and then died before birth. And the halacha is that we the halacha is in such situations is that we do a bris milah on that baby. He says, I did a bris milah on the baby. I have the knife that I did that bris milah yesterday. I have that in my bag right now. So he said to me, should we tell all the kahanim to leave? Why should he tell all the kahanim to leave? He says, because that if the knife that came in contact with the dead body has a din of the dead body itself, so then can the kahanim stay in the room? So it happens to be that the halacha is that while it's true that with regards to passing on tuma, one, there is no issur for a kohen to become tamei to a cherev harei kachalal, and two, it does not have tumas oil. It has tumas maga or masa of touching it or lifting it, but not tumas oil. So it has the same degree of tumah for passing it on, but not the same halachas of tumah. So I told him, I think it's okay. We don't have to get rid of the kahanim from shul, but it happens every now and then. You have such interesting halachas. There was a famous infamous shita that Rav Garan wanted to say that a person that a kohen that is holding on to a cherev harei kachalal would not be mosif tuma al tumasa if he went and came in contact with a dead body. That would be his heter for kahanim doctors in medical school. And the person that got very upset about that because maybe it's not a din of being mosif tuma, but not for now. Says the Gemara as follows: Amar Rabba says, Shema, we hear from this Kasav Rabbi Akiva that Rabbi Akiva is of the opinion that tumas mashkin letame acherim deraisa. That liquids can be metame other things on a level of deraisa. The isal kedaitech, if you would think the rabbanan that the ability for liquids to be metame other things is a din rabbanan michti. Let's see. Hi ner my mahanya lahai shaman. What exactly is the effect of this lamp on this oil? Gufa, if it is to puzzle the oil itself, a puzzle. It is puzzle itself. The kai, puzzle kai. It's already as puzzle as it's getting. It's a shlishi l'tumah. So we say mimai. But how do you know this? Dilma l'tamei acher midrabarim. No, maybe from this havamina that Rav Yehuda had said. Maybe it could be metame acher midrabarim. It would be able to make other things tamei midrabarim. Now that it's come in contact with this lamp, so says the Gemara, and if this is all the dim Rabbanan, my iri be'avatuma. Why are we talking about be'avatum became tamei with an avatuma? I feel berishon v'sheni nami. You don't need it to come in contact with an avatum. Even if it came in contact with a rishon or a sheni, you would have the same halacha that this now would be able to pass on tuma on a level of the Rabbanan. It's still going to be a rishon le'tuma. Ditnan, because we have a principle as follows: Kol hapoisel es hatruma. Anything that makes a truma tamei, that invalidates truma, metame mashkin lias tchila. Will make liquids a tchila. Will make it a rishon le'tuma. Chutz mitvul yom. Aside from a tvul yom. That will still only make it a shlishi l'tuma. Ela shmamina de'araisi. It must be that Rabbi Akiva is of the opinion that this is a din de'araisa. Now, what exactly is this whole discussion here? So this is a unique din with regards to liquids. Rashi points out. Then Dibra Masel did not call up Hosel Satruma. She's called Hanim the Mycelium Pericute says Shabbos Gabishmena also Dover Shegazra Alem Tereshnim Lipsel Satruma Metam Mashkin Afilu Chulun Yos Tchila. That there are certain things that will be able to be posted truma. It'll make liquids into into a rishon l'tumah. That's a din midrabanan, that you could have something that is a sheni l'tumah that will make a liquid into a rishon l'tumah, meaning it's the only thing that will make something tamei even on a level that is more chamer. It'll make a high level of tumah than the thing itself, which is a din midrabanan. So he says, "Mokol makam yikash tumah the day relay gazer beila says mashkin tchila the endi reiter tzrichen chizuk." Says the Gemara, but if you hold that it becomes tummy by itself, like Rabbi Akiva does, then you would not need this din rabban, which is a little bit more complicated than what we have time for this morning. B'kitzur, what the Gemara is proving out is that Rabbi Akiva is clearly of the opinion that these mashkin, that liquids do become tamei on a level of de'araisa, and then the Gemara is going to challenge what exactly Reb Meir is learning from these from this din. We'll start the first line here. Midivreim deman. What did he learn from? Or from whom did he learn this halacha of burning truma and chulin together? Says the Gemara, Ilema. He learned from the words of Rabbi Chanina's Kana Kahanim. So he says, "Mi dami." How can you compare this? How some tame v'tame? These things are tame and tame. Hacha, yeah. In the case of truma and chulin, tar v'tame. One of them is tar and one of them is tame. Says the Gemara, ve'ela mediva Rabbi Akiva, but from the words, it must be from what Rabbi Akiva said. So, mi dami, is this really true? Hasam possible tame. There you have something that's possible, something that is tame. Hachatar v'tame. Yeah, you have something that's tar and something that's tame. Says the Gemara, Nema kasavar Meir masnisin ba'avatuma. Maybe you said that the mission is talking about an avatuma. The eraisa of vladatuma mid derabanan. Maybe you're talking about an avatuma on the level of the eraisa and of vladatuma. That is a derabanan, and Be'ez Hashem Yisbarach, we will continue on Shabbos, and we'll catch up this year on Matzah Shabbos as well. Everybody should have a wonderful day and a beautiful Erev Shabbos.